Alright guys, I finished season 2 and oh my god, there's a lot to talk about.
Whatever it was, you'll see it again.
So Game of Thrones season 2 is season 2 of the fantasy drama series that is on HBO, and so I'm just gonna let you guys know right now before I go any further, this is a spoiler-filled review of Game of Thrones season 2. So you have not seen Game of Thrones season 2, go back and watch it, but it's your own fault if you haven't seen this. But then again, it's my own fault because I waited 5 freaking years to watch this show. But 3 technically after I tried to watch for the first time. Go watch Game of Thrones Season 2, then come back here, but if you don't care, well, welcome anyways. Basically, Game of Thrones Season 2, we followed the exact same people from Season 1 except minus a few deaths, and now we expand the world with a few new characters, Margaery, Stannis, Marjorie, or Margaery, I don't know if I'm pronouncing those names right, tomato. This girl is amazing. Now, just to let you guys know right now, I'm not going to go over the entire plot of Game of Thrones Season 2 because that would take forever to do. So just like with my Game of Thrones Season 1 review, I'm only going to go over the things that stood out to me the most from Game of Thrones Season 2, but of course going more in depth. But anyways, without further ado, let's talk about Game of Thrones Season 2 and let's talk some spoilers! Now, oddly enough, this scene was the very first scene, or these, I guess, these 2 scenes, I don't know if they're comprised together, but these scenes were the first scenes to actually strike out with me. And basically what happens is that Theon Greyjoy is on his way home, and along the way back to where he lives, he meets up with this girl who looks a little bit older than him, or actually much older, dare I say. So he takes a ride home with her, and he starts making moves on her, like grabbing her boob, going as far as to trying to finger her. When he gets home, it's revealed that, oh my god, this girl is his older sister. Yeah, I was just like, well, that's awkward. His sister, who I forgot her name, I'm pretty sure it's the girl that, I'm pretty sure it's Elise, but I'll put her name really right here, but if it's Elise, glad I remembered her name. She spends the entire time making fun of Theon. Theon was always kind of a dick, but here he's trying to prove himself by taking over fishing villages, and along the way he takes over Whitehall. And even though I know this isn't with those 2 scenes, but the one part really struck out to me, and thank God this didn't turn out to be real. It was when Theon claims to have caught the Stark boys that went away. He shows 2 charred corpses, and I was just like, that better be not those. No. Turns out the next season that they were alive, Bram and the other Stark boy, can't remember his name, but Bram, the one who got, you know, tossed off the tower. So just like season 1, we continue on with Joffrey being an absolute dick as king. This continues on in season 3, which by the way guys I'll get to next weekend, but anyways, I hate Joffrey. Especially in this one scene where Sansa is trying to, you know, talk to him, and he thinks that she's done something wrong, so as a result he starts tearing away her clothes and to threaten her, and then thank God Tyrion comes in, who by the way, Tyrion, pretty much on Game of Thrones season 4 currently as I'm talking about this. Tyrion is my absolute favorite character. I mean, he's more of an anti-hero, and as I said before, I gravitate more towards the anti-heroes. And I just love how he talks to his companion, and then he says, should he ever try to threaten you again, kill him. And his companion goes like, my pleasure. Joffrey, Sansa, and a few others, they're saying goodbye to somebody, and this kid is crying, and Joffrey is like, why was he crying? That's pathetic. Sansa says, well, my brother cried when one of my brothers went away, and he was just like, that's not a man then. I mean, I'm not sure that's exactly what it said, but I'm paraphrasing here. Joffrey's being escorted, and then these villagers, or the people that live in King's Landing, are hungry, and these guys like famished. Joffrey gets hit, and Joffrey's like, who is that? Who threw that? Bring him to me! Kill them! Kill them all! And I was just like, God, Joffrey, I mean, I hate you, but this is hysterical. One of my favorite parts of this entire season. Then Tyrion, at one point, when Joffrey is safe at Sansa, not so safe, but which I'll get to in a little bit. But Tyrion just says, we've had vicious kings, and we've had idiot kings. I'm not sure if we've ever had both. And then Joffrey's like, you can't talk to me like that. And then Then Tyrion just slapped him, and he's like, I am a king! And then Tyrion just says, and I just struck a king! Then my hand fell from my wrist. But now going to Sansa, during this entire thing, Sansa is taking her, she's trying to run away. She gets nearly raped. Nearly gets raped. Then one of Joffrey's guards saves Sansa. Now just like, oh thank God. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention. At the very start of the season, Joffrey brings Sansa, and even though after he said, I promise I will not harm you ever again. By the way, he didn't promise that one of his guards would harm her. Dick. So he brings her out and he's like, look at all these heads. Look at the newest collection up there. And it's Ned's head. Asshole. Now going from Joffrey, I'm going to talk about someone who I thought this season was just one of the biggest badasses ever. And that's Arya Stark. Arya, oh my God, I love Arya in this season. Now, she escapes from King's Landing, she cuts her hair, and she pretends to be a boy, well, off of someone's advice, and she does pretty successful until she goes to this one place where she seems like she's about to get killed. Then one of these guards says to Arya, goes like, I will cut your guts, boy. And then Tywin says, are you an idiot? That's a girl. And then Tywin says, so why'd you dress up as a boy? Easier to survive. And then Tywin said, very smart of you. Then when Arya's about to walk away, he's like, no, come with me. I need a cupbearer. And after that, I just thought, oh God, she is screwed. Thankfully that was not the result. Honestly, when it comes to Arya this season, some of my favorite scenes were surrounding her and Tywin when they were at this dinner table in this room. I thought, honestly, those were the most tension-filled scenes this entire season. Well, besides Joffrey being a dick, but that's Joffrey for you. And Tywin has no clue that Arya is Arya. He has no clue. He just thinks that this girl is just some random person that's just been trying to survive in the wild. He asks her where she's from. She gives him a fake place. Not really a fake place, but some place that, because Tywin knows every kingdom out there. He knows every house. And so she foils him, it seems to, but then she can't remember this, the signia, I believe, or the house symbol, and he says, what kind of man doesn't know where they're from? Now tell me where you're from. And then she gives him the Stark name, and then she brings up the legend that Ned Stark could never die in battle. And then Tywin says, you believe that? And then Arya says, of course not. Anybody can die. And the way she delivered that to Tywin, I just thought, oh my God, Arya. If you guys remember, if you have seen season 2, Jaime Lannister, Kingslayer, gets arrested, he's taken in, and he's pretty much with the Starks. He's with Robb, he's with Catelyn, and he's with Brienne, played by Gwendolyn Christie, aka Captain Phasma. By the way, she's amazing in Game of Thrones. Catelyn comes in, he starts just playing mind games, saying, oh, that's right, didn't Ned have sex with somebody else and have a bastard son have an affair? And after that we think, who is he talking about? And then cut to Jon Snow, and then he said, I have the Stark's blood in my veins. And I just thought, no way. So Jon Snow is the bastard son of Ned Stark. Now going over to Khaleesi now, if you guys remember from season 1, she has dragons now, baby dragons, who have now grown quite a bit since we last saw her. She goes to the city of Kars. When Khaleesi and her companion are going around, they meet this one dude who is creepy as hell, who is from the House of the Undying. And so at one point during the season, Khaleesi loses her dragons, or should I say her dragons are kidnapped from her. And it turns out that this freaking dill pickle face, okay, I got that from my friend Jerome. Sorry, Jerome, I should credit you for that. But this dude says, I have your dragons in the House of the Undying. If you want them, come and get them, pal. So then Khaleesi goes to the House of the Undying and goes in, experiences things from her past, like Drogo, seeing Drogo against, and she sees basically her destiny, I think. I mean, I'm not too certain, I might be reading too much in this, but as soon as I saw the Iron Throne, I was just like, is this showing her destiny right now? So then she finds her dragons, and then she gets chained, and she sees like 3 of these guys, or maybe 4 of them. Oh my God, I loved this part. She uses her dragons and just burns these guys. And I just thought, oh, Khaleesi. Woo, yeah! So she escapes the House of the Undying with her baby dragons intact. And yes, and they are amazing. One more event I have to talk about before the final scene or not really the final scene. Oh yeah, it was the final scene, wasn't it? I think. But anyways, you guys will know what it is when I get to it. Blackwater, this episode. Now, this was the episode I had heard many praises about. I remember a few years ago for an Xbox press conference when Microsoft showed a scene from Blackwater, and I just thought, wow, that looks cool. I was excited to see this because not only that, the director of this episode directed The Descent, which, guys, by the way, check out that movie. It's really frightening. He also directed Doomsday, which I think is a fun little B-horror movie. By far, this is easily one of the best in like my top 3 episodes in Game of Thrones Season 2. This episode reminded me so much of Helm's Deep. The structure, how everything was playing out in this episode, I was like, this is just like Helm's Deep from Two Towers, and I am smiling right now. Joffrey is present at first for this, because having the king there raises the army's morale to do better in the battle. So then he leaves, chicken shit. Tyrion takes over because he had all these strategies because Stannis is there to take over King's Landing. Tyrion goes out there in the battle and he wrecks shit along with so many other soldiers. Oh my god, just jump for a little bit. I have to talk about the explosion, the wildfire explosion. Oh my god. That explosion. Whoa! After it seems that they've defeated Stannis' army, even more soldiers show up, and then Tyrion's like, oh, fuck me. And so one of the soldiers looks like he kills Tyrion, but it turns out he's alive. Thank goodness. Tywin saves the day by rescuing everybody. But honestly, that entire episode, Blackwater, was incredible. Now, to be completely honest, the only real nitpick, it's really a nitpick I have with Season 2 is that for some, it's gonna be really gratuitous in terms of its violence. I mean, just like Game of Thrones Season 1, Season 2 is violent as hell, it's graphic, and just for some people who don't really like graphic stuff, they may not be able to handle Season 2. But honestly, that's just a little nitpick I have with it. It's just low graphic, that's it. Game of Thrones Season 2 is overall even better than the first season. It improves upon its world building, gives the characters even more character arcs. Characters become badasses that I didn't think could become badasses. The episode Blackwater is absolutely incredible. I absolutely love Game of Thrones Season 2, and it's so far my favorite season of Game of Thrones. I actually like it more than Game of Thrones Season 3. Yeah, I actually like it more than Game of Thrones Season 3. I'm dead serious. I like it more, honestly. I'm gonna give Game of Thrones Season 2 a 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved Game of Thrones Season 2. The moment I started watching Season 2, I did not want it to end. I thought this season was absolutely incredible from start to finish. Alright guys, so Game of Thrones Season 2, please comment and let me know below. What was your favorite part of Game of Thrones Season 2 throughout the entirety of Season 2? Let me know below. If you guys liked my review of Game of Thrones Season 2, please like, share, click right here. And as always, until the next review, I will see you all next time.